Our Nation Sports Show. Tonight on a Nation Sports Show, we bring to you our recaps of the 2025 NFL Draft that took place in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we also bring to you our analysis of the 2025 NBA playoffs. Over the weekend, there were some incredible games that were played and some controversy that took place during the Pistons and Knicks Game 4 in Detroit that has the entire sports world talking. Tonight, we also bring to you the latest breaking news in the NFL and so much more. It's showtime.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Hold on one second. See. There we go. Seriously, thought my freaking I almost hit the end. I almost hit the leave button. Almost took myself out of the show, but then again, that would probably be a relief to most of the audience. But enough of that. Welcome everybody to our Nation Sports Show. It is a Tuesday once again, so you know what that means. We got a crazy show coming off the NFL draft, coming off some of the NBA playoffs matches that took place. I mean, it's been a crazy week in the world of sports. Obviously, we're going to get into all of that. Plus Stanley Cup playoffs are going right now as well. Of course, baseball, if we have any news, we'll get into that as well. It's just a lot to talk about. So let's talk about the ways you can interact with us, and that is at Owen_Sports Show on the YouTube channel. Or on Twitter, and then it's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel, Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, join us in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinions about the sports that we're going to be talking about. Also, don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner at the Nation's Corner on the good old Instagram machine. And, excuse me. And on Facebook and then everywhere else is Nation's Corner, including your YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time every Saturday. It's going to be an awesome show this week, coming off a fantastic Monday Night Raw. And then tonight, NXT is going to be off the chain. Joe Hendry is coming to confront Trick about his actions at TNA Rebellion this past Sunday. And it's going to be, more developments with NXT. Also, too, don't forget, of course, AEW Dynamite, TNA Impact, of course, is going to be live this week on Access TV and on TNA Plus. And also, we got SmackDown this Friday, and of course, one of the big things is the continuation with John Cena and Randy Orton, but also the in-ring return of one Aleister Black as he takes on The Miz. So, a lot of wrestling they're going to be talking about. The guys and gal, we'll cover it, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I was glad to be on last weekend, and it was one hell of a show. Doing it, of course, with my boys, my girlie Mike, and Mr. Front Row as well. Another great show in the books. Took part due to some people couldn't make it for, work reasons and, of course, family reasons. And, of course, going to great shows like Atlantic All-Star Pro Wrestling this past weekend as well. So, wanted to put that out there. And also, at 2 Sweet Cosplay across all socials, my wrestling-themed cosplay group. You know where to find us there. Of course, Anime Central coming up May 18th. at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare and the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. Location and time will be determined once we finalize all the details. And once we do, we'll get them uploaded for you guys. Once again, May 19th, Anime Central. Go to asin.com to get your passes for the weekend. They're not terribly expensive. I believe they're $85 for all 3 days. Check it out. It's a big anime con, but there will be some pro wrestling presence with us and some others as well. Also, Nightmare Weekend is coming up this weekend. A lot of great talent coming there. Booker T, Christian Cage, Orange Cassidy. The list goes on and on and on. Mick Foley. Of course, Mick will be in my hometown of Valparaiso coming up, doing his stand-up, doing his kind of one-man show, as well as doing a special autograph signing as well. So we'll talk about that later. But right now, we got a show to get to. Kevin Rory will be joining us here in about 30 to 45 minutes to talk a little bit of some NFL draft and, of course, what he loves the most, and that is basketball and the NBA playoffs. Joey, unfortunately, is dealing with some family issues, and he could not make it again this week, and we wish Joey the best. And, we hope everything is okay. But I got with me the ultimate headbanger, the man himself, the king, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, dig it. He is the man from North Carolina. The only man he doesn't miss, like a black mass to the chin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Stevie Wyand.
What is going on, everybody? Man, not only is the world of sports hot, but the world of professional wrestling is hot. I mean, like you mentioned, Aleister Black coming back to the WWE, that was so cool. And just the whole NXT presentation with the entrance music, a variation of the theme, just the whole entrance, the vibe, like just so cool that he's back. And also, while we're on WWE, Rusev last night had one hell of a promo in a video package. That was awesome. Awesome. No Russian accent, just him being himself. Like, if that is what we're going to be getting from him, I'm all here for it. I mean, just really good stuff. And also really cool, like you also brought up, that Joe Hendry will be on NXT tonight confronting Whoop That Trick. Trick Williams after interfering after the match with at TNA Rebellion over the weekend after the triple threat concluded. TNA Rebellion was also a really good show. Also, what was really good, there are some NBA games that took place, but we'll get to that when Kevin joins us here at the bottom of the hour. And also, the NFL draft took place, and what was also good is we did not do a stream during the NFL draft because that would have been a snooze fest. It would have been bad.
I would have fell asleep an hour and a half into that shit.
Yes.
On camera. You would have seen me like this going.
Yeah, it would have been bad. But what was really cool was an appearance by Seth Rollins and Jey Uso at the draft. Yeet.
Also Chelsea Green as well.
Yes. But we got a lot to get to. NFL news, NBA, all that good stuff. So let's do this.
Yeah, let's get into it. And let's start off with some unfortunate news. And it happened the day after our show. And that is the passing of Steve Mongo McMichael. Steve, of course, has been battling ALS bravely the past few years. And unfortunately lost his life back on the 23rd. He was 67 years old. Of course, Mongo, known for being one of the most prolific defensive tackles of all time, being a part of the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl team. One guy who's, won many awards over his time. If you look down, 2-time first team All-Pro, 2-time second team All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowl, top 100 greatest Bears of all time list, Chicago Bears all-time team, first team All SWC, and of course we can't forget his time in professional wrestling as a member of the WCW roster, winning the WCW United States Championship once. So definitely Mongo had his hat in a lot of different areas. He's done a lot of autograph signings over the years until his condition, of course, came, and that was the end of that. But We're all still saddened about it, and we wish nothing but condolences and prayers to the family and friends and fellow fans of Steve Mongo McMichael.
You know, the real coolest thing for me as a fan, not just of football, but of wrestling, is the fact that Mongo got to be there. Well, in a way, he got to be there last year in presence from his hospital side of at the Hall of Fame, and his teammates came in and presented him, "Hey, you're in the Hall of Fame." And even though he couldn't speak, but he knew how big this was. He knew how big the moment was. And the fact that he got to see and be acknowledged by everybody last year in Canton, and everybody all around the world, even Green Bay Packers players and fans and coaches and fans of all around the world were so happy that McMichael got to bear witness to him being rightly, shrined into the Hall of Fame. And one of the most fierce defensive players of his generation. I mean, just he hit with intensity and he lets you know, I'm coming for you. And that's the kind of player that Steve was, and just not only was he a great player, but he was also really good at this professional wrestling thing. Like he really adapted. Like he was one of the few people that actually adapted to wrestling, and just so cool that, he got to live out his dreams, not just in football, but in wrestling. And he leaves behind a legacy that will live on forever. And he did not quit in his battle with ALS. He went out like a champion. Like he fought until the end, and just, one thing that we can say is he's no longer suffering no more. He's in a much better place. And he will be forever missed, and his memory will live on in our hearts and our minds forever. And I'm so glad, that just, man, like I'm not gonna lie, when it was announced that he was getting into the Hall of Fame, and I mean even you, as like we talked about it last year, we're like, man, we were just so happy for this guy, like he's finally, getting his flowers, and he got his flowers. And it was just so cool to see the entire world of sports honoring him, leading up to the Hall of Fame. I mean, everybody talked about this man. I mean, he was a pioneer, of his era. Like he came in, and I think he influenced a lot of players after him in the 90s and early to mid 2000s, because a lot of players that grew up during that time watched him and watched how he came out on the field and how he played the game, like the Ray Lewises of the world. And hell, I would even say, now, even though he didn't have the same position as Mongo, but I would even say probably a Clay Matthews, even though he's a Green Bay Packer. But I would say like fellow linebackers and defensive ends and tackles that came after McMichael, they looked up to him. It didn't matter. They didn't care what team he played for. What they cared about was the player, on the gridiron, and just how he approached the game, how focused he was on the field. Just a great guy, and just his legacy will be immortalized forever in eternity.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a sad moment for us here on that front.
Yeah, we send our best wishes, our condolences, our thoughts, and our prayers to his entire family and friends that knew him and loved him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get into some NBA news, why don't we? And there's a lot.
Oh, there is a lot.
Oh yeah. We'll start off with this happened 6 days ago. Rutgers star freshman Ace Bailey is declared for the NBA draft. He is the number 3 prospect in ESPN's NBA draft projections. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks and general manager John Horst have agreed to a multi-year contract extension.
And speaking of the Bucks, and I know
We're gonna get to that in a few minutes.
Yep.
Because I want to go down the list starting from when we last left everybody.
Gotcha.
So real quick. Of course, some unfortunate news again, and that was that Elijah Arenas, of course, the 18-year-old son of Gilbert Arenas, was involved in a serious fiery crash Thursday morning. He was hospitalized and placed into an induced coma. Luckily, he's come out of that coma, and the first thing he wrote on a piece of paper, because he was still intubated, was, "Did anyone get hurt?"
Wow.
So he still seems like he has his faculties about him, but of course, we won't know until he gets off the intubation and he starts really responding more what kind of damage has been done.
Yeah, because that that came down and that was stunning. I was like, man, I hope this kid pulls through because he's young, and thank God, he came out of the coma, and hopefully it sounds like he's got his bearings together. It sounds like he's there, but like you said, we won't know until further down the line, like in the next couple of weeks or so, and see where he stands, and hopefully this is a sign that he's on the road to recovery.
Yeah. Of course, two big stars dealing with, little injuries. We got John Moran, who's dealing with a hip injury. Of course, he missed game 4 against the Thunder, which the Thunder swept them, and we'll get into that in a few. Westbrook was out against the Clippers due to a foot injury for game 4. Jimmy Butler had a deep glute muscle contusion. In other words, his ass got bruised. So
yeah.
And so they didn't know if he was going to play, but I believe he did play, if I'm not mistaken.
He did play. He did play last night in Game 4.
Yeah. And of course, right here also too, want to send congratulations to Chicago's own Shams Charania, who I'm reading all these news reports from, because the other night, 2 nights ago, as a matter of fact, he got to throw the ceremonial first pitch at the Cubs game. So that was cool for him. And of course, the biggest news that broke, and that was Damian Lillard. He is done for the year with a torn Achilles. And this upcoming season is very much in doubt.
Man, this guy cannot catch a break. I mean, Damian Lillard comes back from the blood clots, and next thing you know, he's out just like that. And who knows if he will ever play again? Because as we know, an Achilles injury is a year-long recovery. So with that being said, Lillard's going to more than likely is going to miss the entire regular season, and depending upon how further the Bucks get into the playoffs, if they make it to the playoffs, will he even get a chance to play in the playoffs down the line next year? All of these questions remain unanswered, but for the foreseeable future for Damian Lillard, it is going to be a long road to recovery. And I feel terrible for this guy. I mean, he cannot catch a break at all. I mean, going through what he's gone through at his age, he is a young man. Young man. He's not old. And to experience the setbacks that he did back in March with those blood clots, and then being out for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then he comes back, and then a couple of games later, he's out, with that Achilles injury. And I know a lot of people had a lot of mixed feelings about Lillard, him leaving Portland and going to Milwaukee. But that's what he wanted to do. But this whole Milwaukee Bucks tenure with him, it has not been successful. He's had his moments where he's had some good games, but as a whole, it's blown up in his face. And it's unfortunate, bad luck, for Lillard. He's one of the best players at his position. And just, man, Like, if you're a fan, it doesn't like if you're a fan of sports, it doesn't matter what team you root for. You root for these people, to have success on whatever sport they play, and you hate to see injuries like this go down. And hopefully he has a smooth and speedy recovery.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Also, too, real quick, is Shaquille O'Neal has agreed to become the men's basketball general manager of Sacramento State. It'll be a voluntary role for Shaq, whose son, Shaquille O'Neal, plays for Sacramento State under Mike Bibby. Shaq and Bibby form a duo as the college GM and coach. In the process of it all, because that happened, ex-prep phenom Mike Williams tells ESPN he has committed to play for Sacramento State. He transferred out of UCF to be under the tutelage of Bibby and Shaq, now at a basketball program adding big names. Also, some other news too. The current interim head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie, will be finalizing a multi-year contract to make him the next head coach. And let me check right now. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I have for the world of the NBA outside of talking about the games. Obviously, I want to wait until our boy K-Rod shows up so we can talk about the games. Well, let's just give you some score updates right now. 10:34 in the third quarter. Indy is down by 5 against Milwaukee. And right here also, we got pregame going on right now between Detroit and New York. The Knicks lead the series 3-1. Orlando and Boston. Boston leads the series 3-1. And then, of course, the Clippers and the Nuggets tied at 2 apiece will play tonight as well. So big slate of games tonight. Also, too, San Antonio Spurs, Stephon Castle has been named NBA's Rookie of the Year. He's the first team with back-to-back winners since the Timberwolves in 2014 and 2015 with Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. He beat out, let's see, who did he beat out in this class? He beat out, dude, he had 92 first place votes.
Holy smokes.
You know who the next one up was?
Who?
Zacharine Riascare of Atlanta. He had 5 first place votes.
So he almost had a definitive unanimous win.
Jalen Wells got 3. And then Alex Sarr, Zachary Edey, and Khalil Ware all had 0. So that's what it looks like there. Congratulations to Stephon Castle on winning Rookie of the Year. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Also, too, more sad news. Unfortunately, we keep getting this sad news, but we got to report it. And that is that Hall of Fame guard and 2-time champion with the New York Knicks, Dick Barnett, passed away at the age of 88 years old. Let's see here. He played on the Knicks title teams and reached the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as both a player and as a member of his college teams at Tennessee A&I, later which would become Tennessee State. And he was the first HBCU to win a championship in basketball. He is actually he's actually a native of Gary, Indiana. Which I had no idea. Native of this fucking area. Wow. But he was taken by the Syracuse Nationals in the number 5 draft. He played for the Lakers before going to the Knicks at 65. He spent 9 years with the Knicks, averaging 15.6 points a game and playing under championship teams in 70 and 73. His number 12 jersey was retired in 90. He is 9th on the Knicks all-time scoring list. So, and he was invited by the White House to meet with Vice President Kamala Harris in 2024. And he was inducted in the Hall of Fame as a player last year. So definitely a long and lengthy career. Once again, sending condolences, prayers, and of course, positive vibes to family, friends, and fans of Dick Barnett. All right. Moving on to the wonderful world of the NFL. I mean, obviously we got the draft, but when Kevin joins us, we'll get into that. But right now, I want to see what I was going to say our good friend, but he doesn't even know we fucking exist. But Adam Schefter. Here's some news here for us, and that is the Vikings have rewarded outside linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel to a 1-year contract extension where the deal adds $23 million to his current contract, including $22.4 million of it guaranteed. So we got that nice little award there. Patriots have announced they have released long snapper Joe Cardona. Apparently he wasn't always ready like Matt Cardona. Oh, let's see here. What else? Packers signed linebacker Isaiah Simmons, who was originally selected in the first round, number 8 overall of the 2020 NFL draft by the Arizona Cardinals. He played in 84 regular season games for the Cardinals and the Giants. The 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay was seen by an average audience of 7.5 million viewers across ESPN, ABC, NFL Network, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and digital channels for the 3-day event, making it the second most watched draft on record behind only the 2020 one, and it is up 27% versus last year. So big numbers for there, even though Green Bay can suck it, you know what. Seahawks waived quarterback Jaron Hall, linebacker Michael Dowell, center Michael Nowitzki, and outside linebacker Kenneth Onomwegu. Chargers have applied the unrestricted free agent tender to running back J.K. Dobbins, who remains eligible to sign with any team. Dobbins now will still count against the compensatory formula if he signs with another team before training camps open in July. But the Chargers will retain his exclusive negotiating rights if he doesn't. They're just losing weapons.
Very much so. I mean, yeah, this is why the Chargers had to go in the draft, and draft some running backs and some wide receivers, because ever since last year, Justin Herbert has lost a hell of a lot of weaponry, on that offense. I mean, losing Eckler and losing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and you name it. I mean, he has lost a lot of weaponry, on his team. And just because Herbert has the arm and has the talent, you got to have players, that you have chemistry with, and you have to develop chemistry with these guys in the offseason because, now that he's going to have, some of these guys that he worked into the offense last year, he's got some chemistry with those guys, but now you got new rookies coming in, new running backs, new receivers coming in, and they didn't do terrible with the draft, but you have to, you got to address these key holes on this team, because this Chargers team, they're only going to go far as the chemistry with the guys that they have on the team now, and can they develop, the route running and also, with the offensive line, because I noticed a lot of that happened throughout the draft too, is a lot of teams were focusing on tackles, and that's a good thing because you need, to have tackles that can protect your quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the main focus this year's draft, and I'm glad a lot of people did that. But I can tell you one person who's not afraid, or shall we say, this one guy, when it comes to signing, waiting on a big money contract, he has Cero Miedo.
Yes, he has.
And I'm talking, of course, about George Kittle. George Kittle signed a new 4-year, $76.4 million contract that includes $40 million of that money guaranteed.
You know, Mr. Wrestling fan himself is happy he got some money. And
well, yeah. Now he can get tickets for WrestleMania 42.
oh yeah, because you know it's going to be a hell of a lot of money in New Orleans next week or next year. I mean, good lord. I mean, if it wasn't already enough money, sheesh. I mean, now he can use that guaranteed money to do whatever he wants, go to all the wrestling shows he wants to, and spend it wisely there, my man. He deserves it. I mean, because George Kittle by far is one of the best tight ends, all around tight ends, catching, blocking, the whole 9 yards. I mean, the dude is entertaining as hell. And speaking of entertaining and great segue, here's a guy who's entertaining as can be with his one-liners and all that good stuff. K-Rod, Kevin Rory.
But he's also wearing a shirt right now that has 4 letters, 1 word.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Thought I'd hop on in here for a little bit.
You just came in time now, man, because we're talking about your man getting that Seattle, meow. George Kittle getting big time money.
Oh yeah, big
He was
money.
waiting on that contract, man. Waiting on that big money. He had Cero Miedo when it comes to getting paid.
I'm just glad John Lynch came through because I could feel Triple H chomping at the bit trying to get them signed to a WWE contract.
What? So he could be Gunther's next victim, like Pat McAfee?
I could be Pence's tag team partner.
Hey,
against Chad Gable.
Hey, you know what, Kevin?
Grande Americano.
I'm fantasy booking this. I hope this happens. The Lucha Brothers and George Kittle in a 6-man tag at SummerSlam. Book it. Book it.
Or here's my fantasy booking. I wish somehow George Kittle gets involved and helps his good buddy Pat McAfee to get a cheap victory over Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, after the match, Gunther fucking power bombs Kittle into oblivion.
And then John Lynch is going to be on his ass for hurting his tight end that just got $75 million.
Gunther has been fined by the NFL an undisclosed amount of money.
Hey, Gunther keeps on. He's going to get as many fines as Anthony Edwards is flipping off the fans. He better chill.
Who does Anthony Edwards think he is? Stone Cold?
Look, he's going to be Gunther's going to be sitting at home longer than fucking Damian Lillard is right now.
Oh, too soon.
At least Gunther can walk.
Oh, oh God.
Sorry, I love Dame. Sorry, Dame. I love Dame Lillard. Had to poke at that one.
But man, but Big Kev, I definitely want to get your thoughts on the NFL draft.
Oh man, it was a wild draft. That's for sure. It was, but I know everybody wants to talk about the Shedeur Sanders landslide type of shit, and I don't think Shedeur Sanders should have been a first round pick, and that's me being nice. I mean, I like him as a player. He's solid, but again, I said it before. I think on the show, this was a bad draft class for quarterbacks. The only quarterback worthy of a first round pick, in my honest opinion, was Cam Ward from Miami, and that was really it. I mean, it was a bad draft class for quarterbacks and as well as wide receivers. Didn't really like the class, so to me, Shedeur at best should have probably been mid-second. I mean, early third, possibly. He was, I would say, the second or third quarterback off the board, in my opinion. I do not know why the Saints got some jabroni who can't even complete a pass at the combine. Now, that I thought was where they fucked Shedeur Sanders up. I think that was pretty fucked up because even a Saints fan I know good and dear basically said it himself. He said, "Hey, we drafted this goof. You know what that means?" I said, "What?" He said, "That means we're going to be in good line to sucking again, and we're going to be able to get Archie Manning next year." I
And
said,
also, James
"Yes,
Winston's going to have his money cut out for him because here it comes. Pick city, pick city.
yep." I'm telling you, dude. I don't know. Shadur shouldn't have fell to the fifth. I will say that was robbery, but I don't think it was much more than the owners didn't like the fact that his daddy was going to have a say so, and I don't think
And
they
not
like
just
it
that,
rubbed them the
Kev,
wrong
but
way.
let's call a spade, bruh. But when you got legendary on your room, come on,
Yep.
man. Like that's just being plain cocky. You know,
Yeah,
if
I completely get it, and I'm like, eh, dude needs to be humbled in the best way possible, but at the same time, he needs to be he just needs to work, man. I mean, there was a clip that came out on Facebook, I believe I seen where Cam Ward and Shadur was working out together, and Shadur was sitting there looking at Shadur was out there talking about, hey, oh, you want to make fuck this workout? You want to make a rap song? You want to goof off together? And Cam Ward said, no, I got work to do. That's the difference of the mindset. Give me the quarterback that said I got work to do over the quarterback who says I want to goof off in practice. I don't like that.
man, the way that Shadur Sanders is acting right now, he almost reminds me of Antonio Brown because, or Le'Veon Bell, because although Bell and Brown had talent with Pittsburgh, they were way more focused at throwing dollars at strippers' asses, and lap dances and making shitty rap tracks. I mean, that's the problem with when you have charisma or you think you have the talent. That doesn't mean you're going to work hard for the spot because Shadur Sanders, although he is talented, the only reason why he put legendary beside that is because of one thing: his dad. His
Yep.
dad was one of the most best defensive backs of his era, just like the late great Steve Mongo McMichael on the defensive side as far as being a defensive tackle or end. Because primetime Deion Sanders was a guy who was so flexible on the field. He could go from one end of the field to the other just like that. Boom. He could punt return, and all of that stuff. He could play baseball. He was just such a freakish athlete. And I'm not discrediting Sanders' talents, but good Lord, son, be humble. Be grateful. You
Where
know,
I'm at with it is he's not a starter, but at the same time, we know what's going to happen. Say he go, well, I mean, he is with Cleveland, obviously. So say Joe Flacco wins the starting job. Okay, say Joe Flacco starts to struggle. The pressure is going to be coming all out from the room because of Dion being his daddy. Obviously, fans or people are going to, the media, everybody's going to put Shadur in, put Shadur in. They are going to put the pressure on any team's front office to basically force his way onto the field. And I don't think he's ready, first of all. I mean, I don't see a CJ Stroud rookie year, Jaden Daniels rookie year. I don't see none of that. I see a decent starter at best. I mean, eventually, not even year one, dude. I mean, you look at the college football, dude. He finished with a record of like 6-5. Come on, man. Why ain't you winning? I
that
mean,
is why he
you're
slid to
getting
the fifth spot in the
making bad
draft.
decisions. You're not making quick enough decisions. All that shit in the NFL does not fly. Some of the
That is
best quarterbacks in the NFL that don't have as much skill wise, they have something that you're supposed to have. And I mean, they've got like football IQ, quick decisions. I mean, you look at some of the other, like Russell Wilson when he came in the league, didn't have the strongest arm, but he has a high football IQ. That's why he was successful. Brock Purdy, not the strongest arm at all. High IQ, makes right decisions, successful. I mean, other guys, even Mahomes got both IQ and talent.
mm-hmm.
Great quarterback in the NFL. I mean, Shadur just don't have the IQ. Like, he's going to have all the talent in the world, but all he's going to be, to me, is a glorified Jameis Winston. He's going to be out there making dumb decisions, throwing picks. And I mean, I don't see it, dude. And
He
for the
ain't ready. I'm
the
sorry. He
people
is
that get
not
on here and
ready.
say this was racially profile, I come on, dude, give it up because Cam Ward drafted number one overall. You can't make that claim. Cut it out. And then what about the argument other quarterbacks that played great in college this year? Quinn Ewers from Texas didn't get drafted to the 6th round. He arguably had way better of a season than Shadur Sanders. He went the 6th round to the Miami Dolphins. Come on, dude. Can we quit with the excuses? Just say that owners didn't want to take the risk because they know it was probably more of a risk than it was a reward, and that's just it.
And that's the thing, is when you look at, okay, Cleveland traded up, to go up at number 5, and Jacksonville traded down to go to number 2. Travis Hunter ended up in Cleveland, or in Jacksonville's lap. And you talk about one of the more, again, all-around players in college football, wide receiver and defensive back. The million-dollar question going into the 2025 NFL season: what position is Hunter going to play? Is he going to play wide receiver? Is he going to play defensive back? Or is he going to play both? And the reason why I asked, is he going to play both? Because, Kev, as you know, being a professional football player or professional athlete in general, when you are playing 2 positions, you have to work twice as hard to get the same results as the other guys on your team. And when you're playing 2 positions, especially, let's say if the games are close, you're going to be gassed. And you gotta maximize your moments and pace yourself. You can't overwork yourself. You have to approach the game differently when you're playing 2 different positions. That's what I'm wondering, because even though Travis can play an exceptional wide receiver or a defensive back as well, the question is, and they said, he said himself, "Oh, I'm willing to play both positions." Are you really? Are you really willing to play 2 positions? Because when the going gets tough, you can't complain then. "Oh, we suck. Oh, I'm tired. I've been playing wide receiver, running a bunch of routes, and defensive backs, trying to cover some of the best receivers in the game." You can't make excuses because you made your bed, saying and claiming that, "Oh, I can play both positions." Now put your money where your mouth is.
Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Travis can do that in college, but we all know the NFL is a whole different animal than college. He can do that in college easily. Look good doing it, by the way. I gotta say he was a beast doing it. Both sides,
Sure.
he was good. NFL, even if he wanted to, them coaches are paying millions of dollars for that player. They're not going to be making him play both sides of the ball, even if he wanted to. They're going to hold him to one side and maybe have him sub in and out on the other side. That's where I can see. And honestly, at best, I see Travis Hunter playing DB. I see him playing cornerback. He's going to be cornerback 1 for the Jaguars. And I believe they'll put him certain packages, like when they go 4 or 5 receivers deep and they need all the receivers they get, then I can see Travis Hunter sniffing the offense, getting a couple snaps when it's pass only downs. Like, I can see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But him playing 180, 200 snaps a game, switching sides,
There's no way,
happen, man. Because when you get tired, you're going to have to stick it. Imagine someone like Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry running head on towards you outside, and you're out there gasping for air. You're going to get your ass ran over. I mean, and I believe it was a better fit for him to be in Jacksonville, to be able to get a chance to play both sides, because we all know if he would have went to Cleveland, he would have got no snaps. He wouldn't have got no snaps at DB. And here's why I say that. You got 2 Pro Bowlers in Cleveland at corner. You got Greg Newsome and you got Denzel Ward. Where was he going to play corner? That's his number 1 position, in my opinion. He was graded way better as a corner than he was a wide receiver. So he wouldn't have got no snaps at his best position, which is corner. He would have been playing a receiver with a team with no quarterback and a freezing ass cold. Well, at least you go to Jacksonville, he can play corner, still play receiver, have no quarterback because Trevor Lawrence is a big walking sack of crap, and be in the warm weather. I mean, it's going to be 80 degrees, 90 degrees all the time. You're chilling at the beach. You ain't in that cold-ass Cleveland. So, I mean, it worked out better for Travis Hunter, but that was a good move for Jacksonville. I mean, you got a chance of getting a generational talent. I mean, they need a lot, but that's a start, I guess. And I will say one team that I really am baffled and really blows my mind is everyone's favorite general manager, and that's the New York Giants. I love their first pick. I thought, hey, we got something brewing. You got a freaking nature Abdul Carter who's like a Micah Parsons. Like, oh yeah, the Giants are going to be tough on defense.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive line's going to be stout. But then you trade up, lose so much draft capital to trade up 8 spots to get back in the first round and draft Jackson Dart. I mean, this quarterback class sucks. You might as well have just rolled with Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, and then next year hope to get someone like Arch Manning or Sellers from South Carolina, or a quarterback that's going to be worth the crap.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kev, real quick. I'm surprised they weren't the ones that got Sanders. I was surprised.
There were so many teams that could have, that they just basically said, fuck it, we're going to roll with somebody else. And honestly, that was a good move on Pittsburgh. Good call by the Steelers. They said, we're just not going to get a quarterback. We're going to hopefully wait to next year. I mean, hope like hell Aaron Rodgers does what he does. If not, we'll give it a go next year. We'll try to get a quarterback when it's worth a shit. Their scouting personnel really seen the mediocrity in the quarterback class outside of Cam Ward. And proud of Pittsburgh for holding back on that, not drafting a quarterback, because it could have been stupid like Cleveland. Now, Cleveland, why I get you got Shadur, but why the fuck did you draft Shadur if you got damn Dylan Gabriel? You drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks in this class.
Explain that.
After getting Joe
doesn't make any
Flacco back,
sense.
and then you trade for Kenny Pickett. I mean, you know Deshaun's going to be gone, but damn, what are y'all doing? Just throwing shit at the wall to see if something sticks.
Whoa, Kev, real quick. Are we sure that Tony Khan is not the owner of the Cleveland Browns? Like, I know he's with the Jaguars organization, but are we secretly sure that this clown is not with the Browns? Because
I'm not
Cleveland
sure.
Browns have oversaturated their quarterback market with their team. You got 5 freaking quarterbacks on the depth chart. Like, make up your mind.
I don't understand what the hell.
Oh, God.
But I gotta respect the Titans. They didn't overthink this shit. They said we need a quarterback. The only good, decent one in there. We'll get him. Fuck it, Cam Ward.
Yeah, you got number 1. Might as well keep it.
Yeah, we got Tyler Lockett. Got him some veteran receivers to help him out. Fuck it, we ain't gonna overthink shit. And I give them credit for that. They didn't overthink nothing. I give them. And another team I thought really got good. Of course, I got to speak for my guys, the 49ers, man. They're going back to what they used to do. They basically told Kyle Shanahan, you're not drafting until the 3rd round. We're going to let Robert Saleh get his guys. Robert Saleh came in there, drafted Mykel Williams, who was a freak of nature at Georgia at defensive end with the 11th overall pick. Him and Bosa can be special together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And then they go in the 2nd and 3rd round. Oh, baby, I'm peaching. And then they go in the 2nd and 3rd round. And again, they attack their number 1 weakness last year, defensive tackle. They couldn't stop the run for shit. So you know what they do? They get let's see. The defensive tackle for Texas, 6'6", 352. I mean, he's up big. And
Good Lord.
Plug that hole. Then they go and get C.J. West in the 4th round, who I thought was a steal for Indiana. Another one, 6'5", 303. I mean, he's going to be a starter, day 1 starter. He's probably got 1st to 2nd round talent. And the 49ers got him at a steal in round 4. So, yeah, they basically beefed up that defensive line. Also got Dre Greenlaw's replacement and the guy from Oklahoma State who ran a 4.4 as a linebacker, the fastest linebacker in the last 3 years. He ran a 4.48 at his pro day, and shoot, I mean, there is the injury concern, but it's always been there for Dre Greenlaw as well. So that ain't nothing new.
And speaking of Greenlaw, he got injured again. Like good grief. Like
now that move letting Greenlaw walk is really starting to look good on the 49ers part because.
That's 2 consecutive injuries for Greenlaw. That's going to probably keep him out again from another portion of the season. I mean, these injuries have been bad for him since that Super Bowl loss to Kansas City.
It's been before that, dude. He's had Achilles tendonitis before that. He's had so many hamstring, soft tissue injuries. It's just, I mean, I hate it because I loved him when he was healthy. He was a freaking nature, a ball hawk. But then, stay on the field. I mean, your best ability is your availability. But the Panthers surprisingly drafted a wide receiver 1st round. I'm just saying this, and they signed Hunter Renfrow, which I think every Carolina fan is out their fucking mind talking about. We got an elite wide receiver room. I've seen it all on Facebook over the last week. Our wide receiver room is elite. Bro, Bro, you don't have a top 100 receiver on any spot on the damn field in your roster. And you talk about, oh, receiver room is elite. The guy's never played a snap. Leggett is, mid. Hunter Renfro got ran out the league, and now he's trying to come back. Cut me a break, dude. I mean, damn. And you know what? The one thing I'll tell Panther fans is your wide receivers ain't going to be worth a fuck if your offensive line can't block for Bryce Young, and Bryce Young looks like a damn pansy in the pocket, taking unnecessary sacks.
Looks like a human pinata, just pinata, just boom, boom, boom.
They're
just
still
knock it down.
rebuilding. They got a long way to go. And if you think one wide receiver and a old man out of retirement is gonna solve the problem, then Panther fans gonna be in another surprise of a year this year.
And the Dallas Cowboys, look, I know we clowned them a lot, but they had to get somebody to replace the great Zach Martin. And I think going with a tackle, that was the right move. I mean, because you got it.
Two things. I don't think it was the right move at that spot. I believe that they could have waited to the second round. I believe Tyler Booker was going to still be there at 44 in the second round.
Yeah.
They reached way too high for him. They could have got, if I was a Cowboys, I would have went wide receiver, and then I would have got my guard in the second round. They just, I don't know, dude. Not. That was such a Jerry Jones move to draft a damn guard in the first round.
Of course it was.
And one named Tyler, too. They got 3 Tylers on the offensive line now.
Tyler
Smith, Tyler Guyton, now Tyler Booker.
Bueller.
I don't know.
The Tyler effect.
Bueller.
Yeah, they might get Tyler Perry as their other guard. That'd be a hell of a combo.
What's next? Tyler Breeze is going to be their image consultant. But also too, I want to mention, we're talking about the draft. The Bears picked up in their first round pick. They got Colston Loveland from Michigan, tight end. Thought it was a pretty decent pick for the Bears to get a tight end right off the back. I mean, we already have Cole Kmet, but I think he would be. a great addition to with Cole because obviously right here who was I'm trying to look here at the statements here. See here, Ben Johnson has compared Loveland to actually Sam Laporta.
Yep, and you know what? There's 2 things about that draft, and that's there's 2 words for it. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson in Detroit loved his 2 tight end sets, and that's what he's trying to bring to Chicago. He's trying to bring that 2 tight end set. He wants 2 good tight ends, and now you get Cole Kmet and Loveland in there, and another safety valve for because that's what he wanted to do with Jared Goff. He knew Jared Goff couldn't get the ball down the field like that, so what'd he do? He got Jared Goff some safety valves in Sam Laporta and the other tight ends. So that's what I think Chicago and Ben Johnson wants to do with Caleb. Simplify the game, get him a safety valve to get the ball to, and that safety valve is going to be Cole Kmet and Loveland. So that's where that was thinking. That was a Ben Johnson move.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chicago, what was also cool was Seth Rollins coming out there and talking shit to the Green Bay fans.
Yeah, because the Packers absolutely trolled the Bears at the beginning of the draft. I don't know if you've seen it, Ezra.
I think I did. There was a lot going on. I don't
It
know.
was.
Yeah.
Clay Matthews came out there and was reading the thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
From our president that, dear American citizens, the Bears still suck. I'm like, oh hell.
Take your Frank and Fabio looking ass back to the retirement home, motherfucker.
But then Seth Rollins comes out there and gets pushed off stage, booed out the building.
And then Jey Uso comes out later on and
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso. Sorry. Jimmy Uso comes out there. Big Jim coming out there doing his 49er picks. That was cool.
And then of course, for the Seattle pick, you had the now former Women's Intercontinental Champion, Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
But yeah, the Bears also got a couple pieces in round number 2. We got at number 39, we got Luther Burden III at wide receiver from Missouri.
Oh, that's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely gonna fill in for Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he in 2023 he had 1,212 receiving yards, which was one more than Marvin Harrison Jr., who went 4th overall in last year's draft. So, and then we also got Ozzy Trapilo for an offensive tackle from Boston College. There we go again, building up our offensive line to protect Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Yeah, that's never a bad thing.
Yep. And then we got Shamar Turner for Texas A&M, defensive tackle, and number 62. Fourth round, we got Ruben Hippolyte the second, linebacker from Maryland. Round number 5, we got Za Frazier, cornerback from UTSA. And then we got Luke Newman. Another offensive lineman from Michigan State. And then we got this pick, which of course came from Cincinnati, Kyle Manangai, who is running back from Rutgers. So the Bears did make some good moves. Of course, I was a little bit mad when Austin Genty got picked. I was like, no! I yelled, no, it's supposed to be ours, damn it!
Yeah, and speaking of him, Genty going to the Raiders, that was a steal at the 6th overall pick.
Dude, Travis Hunter. I mean, dude, Cam Ward going number 1.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I figured Travis Hunter would go number 1, and then Cam Ward came out number 1. I was like, whoa.
It might sound crazy, but my favorite draft pick the 49ers did wasn't even a draft pick. It was an undrafted free agent signing when they signed the best kicker in college football to get Jake Moody the fuck out of a 49ers uniform. Please do that this year. Please, before training camp, get him out of here. Have him on the unemployment line begging for a cheeseburger. He does not need to be kicking for another damn football for this 49ers team. I'm sick of it.
I'm begging for a cheeseburger.
What Jake Moody will be too.
Yeah, well, he's making cheeseburgers. I'm begging for one.
I tell you, who's probably begging for any kind of food is Miami Heat fans. Good God Almighty!
I thought you were about to say Luka Doncic because that fatty looks like he's been begging for a cheeseburger since he had the flu.
Oh, dude, you know what? Since we talked about the draft and all that, fuck it. Let's get right into the NBA playoffs. Dude.
Okay, real quick. I want to bring this up. Last night, let's get the shit show out of the way. The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat. Are you freaking kidding me? You come on your home floor last night and you laid the most massive egg, even though, let's be honest, the team sucks. But you're still in the playoffs. You have a home game in front of your fans. And Tyler Hero talking all this shit, saying that, oh, nobody on Cleveland can guard me, and Gardner can't guard nobody, blah, 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 blah. Dude, you got schooled every time by every Cavalier on that floor. Didn't matter who was guarding you.
He's too busy worried about his hot-ass baby mama, Keita Elise Henry.
Yeah, he should be worried about having a better team around him, because that team last night, it was so bad. Ernie Johnson is one of the most nicest men in sports. One of the greatest broadcasters of his generation. Ernie Johnson comes on there and he said this team quit. Charles Barkley said the same thing. They quit. He said there's 2 words I don't like to. Yeah, he said there's 2 words I don't like to use: choke and quit. And quit is what the Miami Heat did. Like, dude, that was so bad. At one point, Miami was trailing 60 points. 60. They lose about 55.
This was the most pitiful effort I have ever seen in a playoff game. Tyler, you're no hero of mine, because what are you doing? 3 points in the first quarter of the game, or first minute of the game, and you have 1 point the rest of the way. You finish with a whopping 4 points.
That was so bad.
What are we doing? Honestly, it was so bad they should ban Miami from the playoffs next year for the shit they put up. Oh my God.
And I'll say it, Kev, I don't want to hear nothing about no Heat culture. The Heat culture is dead. Dead. What was displayed on that court last night in front of their home fans, if I am a fan of the Miami Heat, I am selling my season tickets away. I'm giving them away. I don't care. This
You,
team is done.
you know whose fault this is? I can't even blame Eric Spoelstra because he's so limited. This is Pat Riley's fault. The
Yes.
bullshit you did with Jimmy Butler all season trying to play hardball and treating him like pure shit is what ruined the Heat culture. Like, players see it, the fans see it, the media's seen it. Nobody once blamed Jimmy Butler. Was Jimmy Butler was he getting attention from damn doing what he had to do? Yes. Was it wrong? I don't think so because of you can't let these owners just do what the hell they want and these GMs do what the hell they want. He tried to shit Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler wasn't going for it. That is what ruined Heat culture.
Look,
That
I
just
know I was
people
critical of
started,
Jimmy
man.
Butler's actions, but I can't blame him now because this Heat team it's done. I mean, like they are done. I mean, this is not the same team that made it to the NBA Finals 2 years ago. This is not the same Miami team that took out the Boston Celtics from reaching history, being down 3-0 and losing the series.
You know what?
Because
I'll be on record this from what I've seen this postseason and postseasons prior. I don't really think there's a such thing as a Heat culture. I think this was a Jimmy Butler culture because Jimmy Butler, there is a reason they call this guy Playoff Jimmy, and we'll talk about it in the next series. But there's a reason why they call this guy Playoff Jimmy. He turns it up 3 notches in the playoffs, and he did
mm-hmm,
that with the Heat twice and got them to the
mm-hmm.
finals. And if he was not on that team or if he was out of that game, there's no way in the hell this Heat team gets past that first round as an 8 seed, as a 2 seed, as a 1 seed, as a 10 seed. I don't care. They
Kev,
don't get out of the
Kev,
first round
here's
without
the
Butler.
sad part, Kev. The Memphis Grizzlies at least tried. And
Yeah,
they
they
were an
gave an
eight
effort.
seed. They tried. They
They
actually
gave an
tried.
effort.
But the
They,
Heat, they just quit. They were like the baseball team and the Angels in the outfield. Just not playing like a team. Got their heads so
yep.
far up their ass, couldn't even see the light of day. I mean, it was so bad last night. I mean, this was pitiful to
Pitiful.
witness. It was one of the worst lopsided games in sports history. And
Yep.
now Cleveland will have to face better competition in the next round because more than likely the Pacers are going to take out the Bucks. And and it's just yeah, I mean Miami's done. And you talked about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, after getting injured, after his ass getting bruised in game 3, or in game 2, he doesn't play game 3, comes back in game 4 and has a hell of a game.
Yep. He looked good as hell too.
He did. You know what wasn't good? The referees last night. What in the world was that? I mean, just they were ruining the pace of the game, the flow of the game. I said, look, I'm not a Golden State fan, but if I am at this game and I'm watching this live, I am pissed off because the flow of this game, it was so bad during that first half. A lot of reviewing, a lot of plays under review. It just stifled the game's flow. Like, just let them play.
Yeah,
Let them play. I mean, it was horrible.
that first half was pretty bad as far as the flow. But I will say they're trying not to turn it into a Hell in a Cell match because everybody was fighting left and right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Everybody was.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Warriors too, and the Rockets. The Rockets' style of game is to try to play defense, get under your skin, piss you off, get dirty with you some, physical, like fight you. But you know what? The Warriors like that shit. You know why? 2 names: Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. If you piss them off,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be in a WWE match. You're gonna be out there body slamming each other because Draymond loves that shit. And here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing to say about the Rockets. They shouldn't have played Golden State like that because
Nope.
just like Jimmy Butler said in the post game, talking shit about Dylan Brooks, he said, yeah, he was like, what made you turn it up in the third and fourth quarter? He said, somebody told me something. And when somebody tells me something and gets me fired up, oh, I get fired up. Talking about when Dylan Brooks was talking shit to him and he called Dylan Brooks a bum and a bitch and he was weak. After that, Jimmy Butler proceeded to torch them, outscored the whole Houston Rockets team 9-8 in the last 3 minutes.
You know what's also telling Kevin that in the Rockets' 2 losses, they have sucked from the free throw line. You cannot be missing freebies. They have missed at least 10 free throws in the last 2 games. that they have lost. By missing those free throws, you lost the game.
Yep. And another thing is game 3. I think the Rockets really blew a chance. Game 3, no Jimmy Butler. You got a chance to take home court back. You know the Golden State team, Steph is by himself, he literally vulnerable. You go out there and let Steph drop 36 on your head, literally torch you and beat you and win game 3 without Jimmy Butler. That was deflating for the Houston Rockets. And you know whose fault Houston is? Again, I said it before the series, dude. The way the Rockets will have to win, they're going to have to win in a blowout. They can't win a close game against Golden State. The reason why? Number one, experience. They don't have enough experience. You can't outbeat the Warriors' experience. They got championship pedigree. They do this. They've been in this situation. The Rockets haven't. Number two, you can't, they don't have a closer, and that's Jalen Green. What are you doing? 8 points, 7 points, 9 points. You're supposed to be the number one for the Rockets, and they got an APB out on you because you can't score worth a damn 8 points. What are you
Fred
doing?
Van Vliet had a way better game than he did yesterday. The dude
Out,
was
Şengün
incredible.
is their best player for crying out loud.
Yep.
Not against Draymond Green, though. I read a stat yesterday, even though he got 31, going against Draymond Green, he shot 2 of 12. Draymond held him down, locked him down. Jalen Green, what are you doing, son? You worried about painting your nails. He was more fired up about Draymond picking on him or telling him to go talking shit, telling him to go paint his nails than he was about trying to score the damn basketball the whole series. And you know whose fault that is also why Jalen Green is getting shut down? 2 words, Jimmy Butler. Game 2, Jalen Green had 38 points. But guess what? Jimmy Butler didn't play after the first quarter. He went down 10 minutes or 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Jalen Green goes off. Game 1, game 2, and game 4, or game 1 and game 4, and game 3. He had 7 points, 9 points, 8 points. What are you doing? And you wonder why there's these rumors about this shipping your bum ass off to get Kevin Durant, someone who can close, who's a proven closer. That's what the Rockets need. They don't have nobody. Then you got Dylan the Villain Brooks, this guy. Look at this guy. Now here's a guy who's going to try to talk shit, then get up and realize, oh, I poked the bear, and then Draymond come and block your shit and play defense and get fired up. And then Jimmy Butler comes out there and dunks on you and get fired up. Then Steph Curry comes out there and hits a 3 in your face because you piss him off. Don't poke the bear. What are
Dylan
you
Brooks
doing,
will never learn from
Dylan
his
Brooks?
days he will never learn from his days in Memphis.
I mean, Dylan Brooks, what are you doing? But what I can say is this series, I believe, is officially over. Jimmy Butler and Steph, don't see the Rockets winning 3 straight against them.
Yeah, I think it's over.
Not against Steph and Butler, and the longer it goes on, the healthier Jimmy Butler's going to be after the injury.
I'll tell you, another series I think is over, and it's unfortunate because they've been battle tested. You know, we'll see how they play at MSG is the Pistons, because losing in controversy fashion on Sunday, and I'm sorry, but Tim Hardaway should have been given free throws. I mean, if that would have been in MSG, and that would have been Jalen Brunson shooting that 3, same predicament. Let's say the Knicks are down 1 point. He's getting 3 free throws.
Yep.
That was so bad. So bad. I mean, because I felt so bad for the Pistons fans. I mean, the culture of this team is back. You know, just the vibe in Detroit. Yeah, it's not where it was, 16, 17 years ago, 20 plus years ago. But just they finally have a team. That, hey, we have some pieces. We can make some moves. They have a decent amount of players that are good. Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, two an ex-Maverick and ex-76er, respectively, 2 guys who are proven scorers, who on any given night can be the leading scorer, for their team. And it sucks, that if they lose this series in 5, that game 4 loss is going to be the reason why. Because losing, thanks to the referees holding the whistle and not blowing the whistle and giving, the obvious foul call. Like somebody said on NBA Radio, even Steve Wonder saw that one coming, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. I mean, if it's a foul, it's a foul.
That was pathetic.
It was so bad. So bad.
Right now, a quick score update for y'all. That is the Pacers are up on the Bucks 87-82.
Oh, game's actually close. Bucks not going down without a fight.
Dude, at the end of the third quarter, it was tied at 75 apiece.
Damn.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay, so Giannis and company's not going down without a fight. See, that's good. See, Miami? See? That's how it's done. You actually try.
By the way, the Pistons are currently it's right now Knicks 23, Detroit 22 at the end of the first quarter.
Detroit's hanging in. They got the shit end of the stick on that call.
We'll see what happens, man. If they can force this back to a game 6. Oh.
And the more these playoffs go on, though, I will say my confidence in Cleveland to upset Boston is getting bigger and bigger because not just about Boston, but more about Cleveland, how well they're performing, as well as Jaylen Brown's been hurt. Jason Tatum's been hurt. Drew Holiday might miss the next 2 series with his hamstring. That's concerning. I mean, you got a Cleveland team who's hungry. I mean, like I said, yes, I'm not gonna put the verdict out because they can make the playoffs, but we know Donovan Mitchell's been a regular season team or a player. We'll see if they can actually step up and make it this season. But my confidence is growing a little bit in the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then they would have home court too. Man,
if Donovan Mitchell can finally get over the hump and look, you know what, Kev? I think this is the year. I really think this is the year because you got a banged up Celtic team, who went all the way to the finals last year, won the title. And obviously, we know that defending the championship is the hardest thing to do in any sport. And the Celtics are feeling that, and that's the nature of the beast. And Cleveland right now has a golden opportunity to slay the dragon that's been getting at them the last couple years in the Celtics. If you cannot beat this team, in the conference finals, when you got home court, you got no excuses. No excuses.
No, there's 5 teams right now I can confidently say I think are NBA championship contenders. And that being the Golden State Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is it.
And speaking of the Minnesota Timberwolves, for the Lakers.
That's
what in the blue hell was that? On Sunday, JJ Redick. We've been singing his praises. Man. He's done a great job. But why? Why?
I will say this, the same way I'll give Houston a little bit of slack for their series against Golden State, I'll give JJ some slack. It's his first postseason coaching. The postseason's a different animal than the regular season. Do I think JJ is going to lose? Yes, I do. I don't think they're coming back either. I don't care.
Why do you not play reserves in the second half in Game 4? Like, what are we doing?
Here's where I'll cut him slack, though. This is Rob Pelinka's fault. You don't have no bigs. You should not have gave away Anthony Davis. You could have tried to make something else work. You should not have rescinded the Mark Williams trade. I mean, you're leaving JJ with a shit hand, and you can't put your shit hand out there when Anthony Edwards is running circles around you. So
should Naz Reid too, because Naz Reid was getting buckets too. I mean,
he played. I agree. Should he could have went to the bench? Yes, he should have. But how can you go to the bench when you don't have a bench because Rob Pelinka depleted it in the Luka Doncic trade, and then you're out there stuck with absolutely no center, and you're getting cooked by Naz Reid. Naz Reid is cooking you at center because you don't have no big to guard. So what is it? I mean, if I'm JJ, I'm looking like hell. I'm out of options. I'm just going to have to put the old guys in and hope like hell it works. I mean, but it doesn't work because LeBron's damn near retirement age. Like, he's 2 years away from getting a damn pension check. Then you got Luka Doncic, who's good. God almighty, he's so much out of shape. And then you add on the fact that he's getting over the flu. Holy shit, he looks like someone just ran after eating 5 cheeseburgers. And then it don't help that you got Anthony Edwards absolutely full court pressing LeBron and Luca, getting them even more tired. And then you got Anthony Edwards out there dropping 45 in your face. I'm like, what? I just the Timberwolves have done a great job with their defensive assignments and their matchups. And as far as the Lakers, I knew it was happening. I knew they are a depleted team. They're not a complete team. Yes, Luca is a net monster. Yes, LeBron is still 40 playing like he's 30. Yes, Austin Reeves is a superstar. But guess what? You ain't got no defense. Anthony, I watched that game the whole second half. I seen Anthony Edwards get the ball and sit there. He looked like a fat kid looking at a donut shop when he seen Luka Doncic guarding him. He was like, "Look at this barbecue chicken right here. I'm taking him to the hole." Here, Austin Reeves will switch on him. Boy, Anthony Edwards, he lightened his day like he was a fat kid at Krispy Kreme, and he seen the hot sign on him. Like he was like, "Look at this shit. I'm about to go to school." And he got in his bag and was scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring because Luka's defense is atrocious. I mean, good God, he is horrible.
I mean, I think the Timberwolves were watching the Celtics film against the Mavericks last year because every time Luka got taken into the paint by Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum or Drew Holiday, he was cooked. He was cooked. And God forbid if he gets a big man on him, he's done. I mean, he cannot guard when somebody is in him, in his grill in the paint. He can't guard a jump shot, and contest a shot. He is literally, he is the weakest link on their defensive side of the ball. He might be a great offensive player, but if you're going to make your bread and butter, I mean, look, no matter how much we shit on LeBron, and clown him, but LeBron, unlike Luka, can actually play defense. I mean, look at LeBron in Game 4. He still continues to block shots and defend. But Luka,
here's where I know the Lakers are depleted. Luka, here's his bread and butter. He gets beat on defense, but you know what? When he was in Dallas, he at least has some big men that can play defense that would rim protect from getting burned on defense. With the Lakers, who does he got the rim? Not a damn person because they ain't got no center after
nobody.
That's where the problem is. And I know years past, I mean, we've seen it in other guys. Steph Curry he's gotten a lot better on defense. Let's give him credit. But when he was so smaller and skinny and pitiful on defense, he at least had an Andrew Bogut, a Draymond Green behind him, backing him up when guys would get by him or LeBron would get by him. Draymond blocked LeBron
and don't forget
in the
Looney.
finals.
Looney too. He's still there as well.
Yep, and now you got Luka, who has no center, so you're depending on him to hold his ground one-on-one. And asking Luka to hold his ground one-on-one is like asking Luka to put down the damn pork chops at a damn barbecue. I mean, it's not going to work. So the Lakers, if there's one thing they need to do this offseason, get some depth, get some bigs, get somebody. Holy shit.
You cannot defend on two players, your two superstars, your two marquee players to get things done. You have to have bigs. You have to have, big power forwards that can stop the paint. Because if you don't have a big, whether a power forward or center, starter or, reserve, if you don't have none of those key pieces, then you ain't going to go far. I mean, this is why Luka is such an easy picking on the defense because he can't guard. Anytime you get him in the paint, you got him done. Like he's cooked.
Yep. And the most intriguing series, though, is the one I said would be the most intriguing. This Clippers and Nuggets series. Holy cow. Like, it's back and forth. They're throwing haymakers. One game, you think Denver's dead out the water, and then here comes Jokic proving why he's still the best player in the world. Then the next game, Kawhi Leonard out there torching them for 40 on all 2-point jump shots. I mean,
that's like Dirk Nowitzki stuff right there. Remember Dirk in 2011? I definitely can
see this game being the intriguing. Yep. I definitely can see this series being the series to go Game 7 because they are going at it.
I was thinking the same thing.
So matched up. Oh, they are so evenly matched. Zubac's giving Jokic work. Jokic giving Zubac work. I mean, damn, Porter ain't did absolutely shit. Can't guard nobody. But Kawhi and James Harden doing their thing. I mean, and then you got Jamal Murray doing his thing. I mean, it's going back and forth. So the series tied 2-2. I'm definitely looking for that game tonight at 10 o'clock and see who gets the edge, who can go up 3-2, and see where they go. Game 6, Game 7. That's going to be interesting. But what I will say though is going to Game 7 is going to be tough because you got a fresh Oklahoma City team just waiting, biting their chops, trying to get a hold of whoever comes out of that series, and that ain't a good look.
Yeah, because like talking about Kawhi's performance dropping 40, that really reminded me of Dirk when he dropped 48 on the Thunder in 2011 in the Western Conference Finals. No three-pointers, all jump shots, layups, or free throws. Crazy.
Yep. Now I will when I look. I don't want to look ahead because obviously the series ain't over, but Minnesota and Golden State's looking like a very intriguing second round matchup too. I mean Anthony Edwards, who they call him in his own words, the legend killer, because he has been knocking legends out. He swept KD last year. He's about to put LeBron out. He got put out by Luka. He put Jokic out. I mean, he's on one in the playoffs. So they're gonna start calling him Playoff Ant because he about like Jimmy Butler when it comes to the playoffs. He's gonna step up. But then you got Steph and Jimmy Butler. That's looking like to be a very good series. Then you can't forget the other WWE MMA match between Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert. That's going to be a funny match. Who gonna get? Is Draymond going to put him in the Gunther sleeper and choke him out again, or is
we
Rudy
shall.
Gobert going to super kick him?
And speaking of WWE, nice transition there, Kev, because I do want to briefly touch upon this from last night. Holy shit. What a promo by Pat McAfee.
Hey,
Oh
that's the
my
most realest
God.
promo I've heard in a while.
You want to learn how to cut a promo, kids? Look at what McAfee did last night. A 2 week story heading into a pay per view next week. You know, this backlash in a pay per view is a 3 week basically build, and they have already built up stories this quick. Like
To
just
me,
off that promo alone, I am so hyped up for Gunther versus McAfee.
yeah, to me, that promo seemed like it came straight from the heart too. Like Pat
Hmm
McAfee was out there just preaching.
Putting over Michael Cole, putting over the locker room, and his teammates, and everybody. I mean, that was such a good promo.
Yep. He preached there. I loved it. That was one of the most realest promos I've heard in a while.
Yeah. Um. By the way, real quick, also too, they announced. Me and Steven talked about this earlier that Stephon Castle of the Spurs got named Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
You see how many votes he got?
I didn't see the votes.
Dude, the disparity is fucking insane. He got 92 first place votes.
It was damn near unanimous.
Oh, and by the way, the next person below him, Zachary Riasker from Atlanta, he had 5.
Oh, yeah.
He had 5. And then Jalen Wells had 3. And then Alex Sarr, Zach Edey, and Khalil Ware had 0.
Oh, damn. Well, we know
That's
who was the
bad.
best rookie in the NBA.
482 total points for Stephon Castle between his first, second, and third place votes.
Damn.
And
Damn.
also, this is the first team with back-to-back winners since the T-Wolves back in 2014, 2015 with Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns.
I'm telling you, the Spurs are going to be they gonna build it back right in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, you got Wemby, you traded for De'Aaron Fox. If they somehow snag the number 1 pick in the lottery and Cooper Flag comes to San Antonio, good God Almighty, that team. Look out. They're going to be a playoff team next year. They might end up like Oklahoma City, how they used all them years to build up and get right. That might be the Spurs next year. Because you talk about Wemby, Fox, Castle out there, Cooper Flag. Then they are so box office, they're going to attract other players from free agency to say, hey, I want to play with them. And then there you go. You got your
Mm-hmm.
star.
Yep.
Dude, right now, 95-94 Indy over Milwaukee right now.
Ow.
Milwaukee was up by 5,
Oh,
Oh shit.
and the Pacers took the lead back.
Pacers want to go home. They want to go rest a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Also, I mean, we got obviously tonight. We've got this game, like we said. We got the Magic. We got the Magic game, and then we also got the other big game tonight, which is obviously we got Detroit and New York, which is going on tied at 31, 7:04 left in the second. And then we got pregame for Orlando and Boston, and then later tonight the Clippers and the Nuggets.
Damn, Giannis is 9 for 9 at the free throw line.
Damn, it's a miracle.
Ah,
Damn, Giannis.
so, let's see here. I mean, outside of that, I mean, of course, we mentioned about Damian Lillard being out with the torn Achilles earlier, of course.
Oh, I jinxed him. He's not a 10.
Leave it up to Steven and Jinxon. The good old announcer's curse. You mention it, they brick it.
There's the dead man's curse, and then there's the blind man's curse.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You missed the free throw.
Dang, Giannis.
Still tied up at 95.
Thought he was Steph Curry for a second.
By the way, main event tonight on NXT is going to be Julia and Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace and Io Sky.
Damn!
That's
Also, Joe
big
Hendry,
time.
Also, Joe Hendry kicked off the show, tried to call out Trick Williams. It was attacked by Dark State.
Dang.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot going on there too as well. I really don't have. I mean, outside of course the NHL playoffs going on right now, and we got into a lot of football talk. I think that's it as far as NBA. We're just keeping an eye on the games, and of course, I'm doing that and watching NXT. I'm multitasking here, people. Just like I did all WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, I think you're still recovering from that.
Dude, I said, I'm going to take a break, on Wednesday and not watch Dynamite. I sat through the entire episode of Dynamite. I've not taken a break from wrestling all this week.
Oh.
Indiana up by 2.
With 2:20 left in the fourth quarter half.
Yep. Yeah, Milwaukee's not wanting to go down without a fight. They're still playing.
So the Tuesday after Backlash, we're gonna have a special episode. It's gonna be the Pat McAfee tribute show.
Also,
Milwaukee takes the lead.
Everyone can still fight. Okay.
Damn. What a
also,
shot.
I think tomorrow.
With a shot on at the end of the shot clock.
Yes, people. We are live reacting to the Pacers and Bucks game right now. Here's some extra content for you guys.
Also, I don't know if you guys watch it, but tomorrow the episode of Stephanie's Places with the Bloodline drops.
Yes.
Plus, cannot wait for that one. I saw little snippets today with all of them in there. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Threes by the Bucks. Timeout, Indiana.
Yeah, I want to go home.
6-0 run by Milwaukee.
AJ Green with 2 back-to-back threes.
Dang.
Wow.
This is
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, they know nothing about finishing. Oh, wait, it's like the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Oh, I was not going to say that, but you did it, and I was trying to be nice. And
just when you thought you were out, I pull you right back in.
You're not wrong.
Hey, I tell you what, I don't care if they got Tyler Booker, Tyler the Creator, or Booker T. Cowboys going home week 1. They eliminated.
Funny enough, speaking of going home, it's funny how there are Laker fans saying Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5. Nah, you're gonna be going down in 5 if you keep on talking all that shit.
Chicken with fries. Mac and cheese is my side. Ant done gave them boys 45. Lakers going home in 5. That's what they're gonna be saying. Boost Mobile Bundle, Boost Mobile Bundle, WWE Royal Rumble. T Wolves in 5.
Good Lord. Oh, but
Uh,
real quick, speaking of teams that Neil loves and we hate, the New York Yankees made history today.
Oh boy.
They opened up the game with back-to-back home runs for the second time this season.
Jesus Christ. All this to losing the damn postseason like last year. Jesus Christ. And we'll see if the Yankees can get it done this year.
Don't worry, Elders Mets ain't going anywhere either. I know I'm getting heat for this when we go out the other Zoom room, so I'm prepared for that.
ooh, Giannis with a bucket and one.
Oh, he might got a chance to go 10 for 11 since you jinxed him.
Yes,
Could have been
Stevie.
11 for 11.
This
He
is your
could have been like Steph Curry and in
But
here.
no, I had to jinx him.
Yeah, now he's out there shooting like damn Rudy Gobert at the free throw line.
Oof.
10-second violations.
At least he ain't shooting like Dwight Howard.
Nah,
Oh.
or Shaq. See, that's another thing too. Like the Rockets were shooting from the free throw line like Shaq would in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and you know what? What's his name wasn't allowed to play. Speaking of that, Steve Kerr, shout out to him for that. The hacker Adams, because Steven Adams shot 0 of 5.
Brick on the free throw.
When they kept hacking Steven Adams, he shot 0 for 5. So the Rockets email you and said, "Nah, get your big ass on the bench. Steve Kerr's fouling the fuck out of you just so you can damn go to the bench because he ain't making free throws."
Ooh. Giannis with his 5th foul. Halliburton going to the free throw line.
Yep, Halliburton's down for a minute.
Oh shit.
Okay, he's okay. He's getting pulled up. He took a shot though.
Interesting.
Real quick too. Right now the Ottawa Senators are right now Ottawa's playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Right now Toronto leads the series 3-1, but Senators are up 1-0 in this game. Devils and the Hurricanes. Right now Devils are 3-0 against Carolina right now in this game, but Carolina is 3-1 against the Hurricanes in the total series.
If there's any team that can blow a 3-1 series lead again, it's the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Sorry, Adam Copeland. Minnesota Wild are gonna later on tonight are gonna play the Vegas Golden Knights. Right now, that series is tied at 2 apiece. And then the Oilers are playing the Kings, and that series is tied at 2 apiece.
Oh,
Interesting.
And then also tomorrow, the Canadians play the Capitals. Washington's up 3-1. Panthers play the Lightning.
boom.
Florida's up 3-1. Beautiful by Halliburton.
What a shot. 10 seconds to go in the game, and we are tied.
Oh.
Oh, man.
St. Louis Blues taking on the Jets tomorrow as well. And that game is tied at 2 apiece.
The better Jets team.
Yeah, sorry, Jericho.
Great Jets team. Well, anyway, guys, I'm about to hop off here.
Okay.
Great job, dude.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good. I hope to see y'all next week and hope everybody else is safe and enjoy the rest of their week.
Yep.
We'll do, brother.
We'll do, man.
Peace, guys.
I think I'm pretty much tapped out for today as far as any more news.
Yeah, I think I'm done as well.
All right, let's go ahead and close it out. Steven, your final thoughts.
Great show with you tonight. and Kev as well. And thank you everybody tuning in tonight on, as we did this live. And for those that tune in on demand, thank you very much as well. You can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesday nights at YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show, where we are live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. And looking forward to being back on the show with you guys next week, as I will be on the road in Charleston, West Virginia, doing the show live, as I will be on the halfway mark to Columbus, Ohio, for the Sonic Temple Festival, headlined by 2 sets of Metallica. Also performances by Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Alice in Chains, and very many more artists to be playing at this festival next week. So I'm looking forward to being on the show from the road in West Virginia next week. That should be a lot of fun. We'll be recapping the NBA playoffs and whatever news comes down the pike in the next couple of days. And thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. And you can also follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner, Facebook/Nation's Corner, and where they are live on YouTube.com/The Nation's Corner. Check out the guys and gals. They recap all things professional wrestling. And right now, we are going to overtime with this Bucks and Pacers game. Nobody wants to win this game in regulation, so 5 minutes. I ask you, please just give us 5 more minutes of basketball. And that will be happening as we're off the air. And again, you can follow the Nation's Corner, like I said, on Twitter at Nation's Corner, Facebook/Nation's Corner, Instagram/Nation's Corner, and where they are live on most Saturday nights, where Saturday nights are right for fighting at YouTube.com/The Nation's Corner. Be sure to join the guys and gals. They recap all things professional wrestling. And what a hot week of wrestling it's been with TNA Rebellion on Sunday in LA, WWE heading towards Backlash next week in St. Louis, Missouri. And also, as Ed brought up at the top of the hour, over an hour ago, the return of Aleister Black is really cool. And also what was cool was the promo with Cena and Orton last week. That was really good too. And again, if you want to learn how to cut a promo, watch McAfee's promo last night on Raw. That was unreal. Unreal. Anyways, to everybody watching this live tonight, thank you very much for tuning in. For those that tune in on demand, thank you very much as well. We're out of here. And Ezra, wrap us up as you know how to do well, my friend.
Will do, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight, as well as every week on the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in live. Thank you everybody tuning in on demand. We're gonna have ourselves a great week of sports, and we'll talk about it all next week. Right now, it's off to watch this final 5 minutes of this game, and of course NXT. So, with that being said, for Kevin Rory, for Stephen Wyand, for Randy Gyron, for Joey Thorne, for the entire Sports Show Nation, I am Ezra Vickery. We will see you right here next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. We will see you next time. Same time, same YouTube channel. Peace out, everybody.